Hey, Peggy, how are you? Oh, okay. I'll try to not make any sudden loud noises. I need to get a few handbags painted, so I thought, well, Janet's not on today. I might as well pop on and have some company while I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. So I'm a little last minute, of course, as usual. I think this is just a little tiny. Hey, Holly. Thanks for coming, honey. Okay, I'm just cleaning off the surface of this little bag with an alcohol prep swab because I had them. And I don't know, this is supposed to be a coach, I think, but there's no marking inside. What is that? That's a tear or a fuzzy? I don't know what that is. Hey, Nancy, how are you? I'm having a little trouble with my, just a little fuzzy contact lenses today. They don't seem to want to clear up. I need to get myself, I think, some eye drops, But I'm going to leave them in, see how it goes. Hey, Devin. You have the day off. That's cool. Oh, that was nice. Thanks, Devin. That was so nice. I don't like yard work. All right, I also have this Coach bag, and I'm going to take an alcohol prep as well and wipe this down. Now, I want to make sure I put the handle inside, trying to be neat. Now, these are upcycled bags, girls, so they're not perfect, but that's the back. Okay, I want to make sure I paint on the correct side. Hey, Kimberly, how are you? And I'm just going to show you how I do this. There's a gal that I not worked with, but one of the vendors in my, the one co-op that I'm in, she really paints cool stuff. But she doesn't do too much in the way of handbags and things like that. So we try not to overlap in the shop that we were in. Anyway, she has a lot of knowledge, and I had asked her one time how she paints on handbags. Now, I'm sure, or accessories, I'm sure there's probably a better way to do this. But I didn't want to have to buy a lot of different product because I have so much acrylic paint already. So she just said what she does is she cleans the surface that she's going to work on. Hey, Sharon Marlowe, how are you? Thanks for coming, honey. And gets that all cleaned up, lets it dry, and then she might seal the surface first with her regular paint sealer, let that dry, and then she goes ahead and paints it. And that works pretty well for something like this. It's a small piece, it's a small area. You can get your sealer in there, paint it, let it dry pretty well, and then go ahead and paint your design on and then seal it again before you're finished. But what I found in a larger area, I'm not going to paint this whole area. I'm just going to paint where my flower or my design is going to be. So I don't need to have a lot of other area painted with the sealant. And so what I've been doing is I've been mixing my sealant in the paint that I'm going to use. So that's what I'm going to do today. This smaller piece, and I usually, if I'm going to do that, I paint it on and then let it dry real well, and I didn't do that. So I'm just going to use my regular acrylic paints, and I'm going to put a little bit of sealant inside. Okay, Devin, have fun outside. Don't get sunburned. Wear your little bonnet or put on some lotion. And so then I'm just going to be able to do my brush strokes, and then it should be easier when I want to seal the top of my design without having to seal in between flower petals and whatnot. So we're going to see how that goes. And like I said, I like to try to pick up these handbags at a thrift shop. So there's one not too terribly far from me where they have really nice handbags, and they're really very clean. And but they are upcycled. So like, see, I see a little mark right there. Hopefully that's not gonna drive me crazy. And usually I stuff something in here, but I don't know that I have anything. I just got rid of all my plastic bags, took them out in the other room. I don't know if this is gonna, to kind of puff that up and give me a little bit more of a stable surface. I don't think that's gonna do too much. Let's see, I don't want to miss anybody coming in. So I just have some plain water here. And I'm going to use a couple of different, and I think I'm going to put some daisies on this little one. Everything's slow growing here. It's getting started, but nothing's really taken off here yet. And then I'm hoping to put a sunflower on this bag, and maybe a couple of little daisies out from that. This could be the biggest bust, but we're going to see. And I have no pattern or plan. I'm just going to wing it. Okay. So, I just have this little tiny bubble, I guess you call it bubble palette, where I can mix some paints in. This was a salad thing, came from, I don't know what restaurant, but this was in the top with all your little things you can mix in your salad. And I thought, hey, Barbara, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. So I thought this might come in handy too if I needed to mix some paint. So now I need to think about colors. Got something on the bag there. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. So I'm going to start with the daisy in this smaller bag yet to try to get my mojo going, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to put my larger bag off to the side. And I'm hoping this black paint surface is not too terribly glary for you guys. So you'll have to let me know if it's annoying, and then maybe if it's too bothersome, I can I'll put some paper or grab something that maybe I can put underneath me. Okay, so this is kind of I would call it like a stone kind of a color. So I think white daisies will show, fine on this. And so I'm thinking I'll do a center petal maybe here, and I'm just going to do the flower and maybe some leaves. So I usually like to put a little mark with a chalk pencil, but now my husband let the dog out and of course walked away, and she's out there going crazy while I'm trying to I apologize for my ill-behaved pooch. Oh, there he goes. He's going to get her. So I don't know what I do with my chalk pencil. So I'm just going to envision a circle here. And then I might put little blue flowers off to the side, and probably a couple of leaves. Might be a good idea. So I'm going to pull out some yellow. And I'm just going to use this color called Daffodil Yellow to start. And it's a deco art. This label looks different than most deco art labels, but I don't know why. Peggy and Popeye asked Lori to use blue. Don't be starting nothing here with the blue, Sharon. And let's see, I'm going to need some accent colors too to do some shading, but I'm going to let that go for a bit. I need to pull down my white paint, although pink would be nice too, little pink flowers. And I'm going to use my satin finish varnish to mix into my colors. And I think that's all I need from right now. Grab some paper towels. Is Mitzi here? Hey, Mitzi. Thanks for coming in. I have joined in with a new co-op in a shop that's about an hour from me. And I want to take them some handbags. And I really don't have anything ready. So that was on my list today. And I thought, well, when Janet wasn't going to be streaming, I would pop in because I was going to be working and watching. So I just thought I'd turn on the camera and see if anybody was around to hang out. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start to use, now I have a bunch of brushes, and I've said this before, I'm really terrible on my brushes. But I'm going to use these brushes today. I've given Holly and Sharon, they're available to you too in our, the place where we chat, girls. Special links, they're affiliate links for my channel. And these are brushes that I use routinely. And I really love my script brush, and I love my shader. And this other brush here, I don't have too many big brushes. This is a number 8 round. And we're going to see how this works for me today. I've used it before. I'm not sure if it's going to make the shape petals that I want. Might be a little too large. But at some point, Holly, or do sunflowers and cheetah spots. Oh, you girls are thinking I'm a lot more talented than I am. So these are the brushes I'm pretty much going to use. I need to find a little round brush too for smaller petals. I'll pick something out a little later. Okay, so what I'm going to start to do is just mix up a little bit of paint. And so I'm just going to put some of this yellow. Now, if you're working in a bigger area and you're mixing colors, or you're mixing for whatever reason, you want to make sure you have enough. All right, but for the most part, I'm just going to do the center. So this is a water-based varnish by Folk Art. I've had it for years. This is a satin finish. I know they have glossy, they have matte, they have all different kinds. Oh, oh, you could be right, Holly. Yeah. So I'm just going to put a couple of drips in with my yellow paint. And then I'm going to take, and don't judge me, a small knitting needle that I designated as a stirrer. I do still knit, but this is a very small knitting needle. I usually use bigger ones. And I'm just going to stir that up. Oh, don't talk about cookies. No cookies! I should have gotten a drink. I didn't get a drink. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my white. I'm going to need more white. So I'm going to add a few drops of this in. And what the sealer is hopefully going to do, whoop, that's a lot of sealer. That might be too much sealer. We'll see. Well, it might look like a watercolor, which, hey, that won't be too bad, right? Oh, she's a struggle. And then I'm going to need some kind of green because I do want to put in some leaves. Oh, and I was going to try this other brush for leaves that I have. I think it's called a dagger. I don't even know. Let me see if I can. This is an oldie. I can't even read it anymore. Look how awful that is. But it makes a really cool line. Look, I still have like paint stuck to it. I'm terrible with brushes. Really, girls, I am. This is a 1/4 inch royal, but see half of this stuff. I think it's a dagger called a Dager. Now, when we're working with paints this way, acrylic paints, you want to wet your brush first before you go into your paint. Okay. You don't want to leave your brush light in your water because it will bend your bristles. And let's see, I'm going to start with I'm trying to think what color green I want. Maybe something a little more muted. I'm going to try aloe. This is by Deco Art. And then when I'm finished my video and it uploads and whatnot, I'll put in the links of the things that I can that I used, if anybody would be interested in what they are. Now I have to control my drip here of my sealer. All right, now you can always go on the internet or look in a coloring book or somewhere and get a pattern and trace it and then go ahead and put it on your piece. And this doesn't have to be just for handbags or accessories. You can do this on wood, on paper, on anything really. If your kid sits still long enough, you can do it. No, don't paint acrylic paint on your kid. Just teasing. All right. Let's see. Oh, I think I can take this little, I don't know how this handle of this little wristlet is supposed to work. Let me see if I can get that off. Oh, that's really in there. It's really thick. Oh, I should have had the hubby do this. All right, well, we're just gonna put it on the inside. Okay, cross your fingers. Here we go. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Because it's hand painted. Hand painted. All right. So I'm going to just start with, let me find a little, here we go. I'm going to start with a number, let's see. I'll put this in. I didn't give this to Holly. This is a number 2 Zen brush. And I'm just going to put a little bit of paint on this. And I'm going to envision that I want a flower center here. And then I'm going to want, because that's my focused, my biggest focus. And then like a little flower over here and maybe here. And then I'll put maybe one here, here, here. I like to do things in odd numbers. And then I'm trying to think of maybe doing my background stuff first and then work on my daisy, because inevitably what I do sometimes is forget about that, and then I'm trying to stick leaves in. So now I'm going to take my script liner and I'm going to put that in my green paint. And I'm just going to use my work surface here, my Timmy glass mat that I have. And I'm just pulling my brush through my paint and bringing my brush to a tip, to a point, a nice point. Now this paint might not work. I'm going to pull out. That's really light. So let's add something darker. I have this old-timey Delta ceramic coat paint. It's called Gamma Green. I just absolutely love it. I don't even know if you can buy this anymore. I'm going to add Well, you know what? I'm going to put it right there. And I'm going to add just a drip of my sealant. And I'm going to do the same thing. Now, if you were working on paper, because you're going to get a little more drag, you might want to add some water when you're doing this to use your script liner, because you want your paint to be more like ink. So I'm going to do a leaf kind of a thing out that way, and then just out this way. Now I want the leaves to be smaller, so I'm going to use that smaller round brush and take off most of the water. And I'm not sure that this is going to work, girls, but we're going to go for it. So I'm going to load my brush with this light green, and then I'm going to tip in the dark green, and then I'm going to make a tester over here. Not too bad. Now I know I'm going to have petals coming out so far, so I'm going to start out a little further. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I think I'm in the wrong spot with the camera. And I want the petal to be round and then pointed as it comes up out. So I'm going to lift up. Now, these don't look like true daisy leaves, I'm sure. I don't really care about that. That's just so. Let's see. All right. I'm not going to rinse that, and then I'm going to reload. Of course, I dripped water in there. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I need to push down a little more, I think, on my, and pull up. And then well, these are still white. You can still go over them. All right, now while they're drying, I'm going to go ahead and paint in my yellow center. And just a little bit, because I'm going to come back and redo some of this, because I'm going to be pulling my petals. And because that sealer is in there, it's going to take a little more time to dry. Of course, I could always use I put my finger down to brace my hand, though, Peggy. That's really the secret. Let's see. So those petals are going to be largely white. I don't know. I'm thinking pink for the little petals. If I can get my paint wheel to turn. I've been trying to straighten up my craft space. Well, as you all know, it's a never-ending thing. Yesterday, I was out of control. Out of control. Okay, what do I have that's a little smaller? I might use my script brush. Let's see. I think I want something a little deeper. I'm going to try this Royal Flush. And this is a Deco Art color, Americana. Hey, Keisha. How are you today? Thanks for popping in. So I'm going to put a little drip of this because I'm not going to need much. Now, another issue, too, is not to put my mitt in the wet paint. I've done that quite a few times. And then you're always trying to fix something. Okay, let me mix this up a little bit. And this will really just give the front of the bag a little pop of color. Just a little pop. All right, let's see here. So now I put those little dots in where I want, and I'm just going to make like 5, 6 petal little flowers, hopefully. I better practice here. I always like to do a practice. That's a little too thin. That might work. I think I want to pull them into the center. Probably can't see that yellow dot. I'm just kind of making little, almost just pressing down and lifting up. And I'm not an expert. I'm just, self-taught. I just practice and sometimes I have a hard time judging where to put the little petals. And it's hard to do it and talk, at least for me. Sometimes I get a petal that, I think really looks good. And I think, can't I get them all that way? Just really going around the circle. They're all different amounts of petals. And then I'm going to come over here to this side. So, I got to be careful I don't put my finger in that leaf because that's still not quite dry. Takes a little longer with the sealer. And sometimes, like if you're in a thrift shop or a Goodwill or something, and you see like maybe an eyeglass case that you'd like to put your sunglasses in or something like that, you can paint on all that stuff. If you see one that you think you like the shape or the size works, but you don't like what's on it, or it could be all black or, look a little yucky, you can bring it home and put some paint on there. Really, I'm sure could use a stencil, like if you use the inks that are permanent. Even if you use a stamp as a pattern and then go over it with some paint. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can do. old bicycle farmer. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that sounds really cool, Kimberly. This friend I was telling you about earlier, you know those old wagons that the kids used to have that had the slatted sides? She used the side of an old wagon and painted on that. My gosh, it looks so stinking cute. All right, now I have a little daughter here that I'm gonna go ahead and put some white in the center of these flowers so they stand out a little more. Now initially I just put my yellow in there just as a guide. Now I want to try, okay, I want to put another, let's see. I'm trying to think, well, I'll do those little leaves and stuff later. I'm not liking my leaves so much, but I think I'm just gonna, because sometimes, you know, if you get messing with stuff more, it just looks worse as you go. So sometimes it's just better to leave it be. All right. Now I want to try out my round brush to see if these petals are going to be too big. I got a good amount of paint on there. That might be a little too big, but it is a nice brush. Let's see what else I have here. Let me just give, this is a cheap brush. I don't know where I got this one. It doesn't have any markings on it. Probably, you know, I have found some nice brushes at, oh, see, I'm on the East Coast. I don't know if you girls have this store. Lori, do you ever sign any of your handbags or wallets? Oh, sometimes. Mostly I forget. Yeah, this might be a better size. I find some, I found some really good brushes at like Five Below. It's called Five Below. And I think this might be one of it. Was a set of like 5 or 10. I don't know. All right, so I'm just going to make a lot of little leaves here around this to make it look like a daisy, hopefully. Cross your fingers. I'm going to mix up my... And I want the petals to be round at the top and pointy at the bottom. So I want, yeah, that's not making it round, is it? So not so much a stroke there as I can. This brush is not doing around. I'm going to go like, it's like pushing down. That one got a little too fat. Let's see if I can take off some of that. Use my paper towel. Put this guy on a diet. And it doesn't look that much better. Oh, I know. I've got a little Q-tip here, little cotton swab. My hand's probably right in the way, right? You can't see what I'm doing. Look, I smeared that one. My goodness, I just said I got to be careful. Now I'm going to come back and go over these petals with just white paint. It doesn't have the sealant in it, and it will deepen that color. And I think those petals will pop quite a bit. And not all petals are created equally, so you got to remember that too. And if you want it to be perfect, use a template or a pattern. Don't do this unless you're, a really good artist. All right. So that's starting to look like something now. I mixed up way too much white paint. Of course, I wanted to use some on that other handbag too, but thank you, Mitzi. You're very kind. Now I'm going to let that dry. I could do my heat gun. Now I want to put some of a darker yellowy orangey color on the one side of that center. So I'm going to pick out something like a goldenrod. I have some Georgia clay, one of my favorite colors. And okay, let me use this here. Now I'm not going to mix this with the sealant. I'm going to just use this straight on. And I don't need much. So this is a dark goldenrod, and this is also a Delta Ceramcoat color. Again, an acrylic paint. So I'm just going to put a little drip of that out. Now I'm going to come and use my shader, my angle brush. Now you can use a flat if you like. I just like this one because it's pointier at the one end. I mean, the flats are pointy on each corner, but I don't know. I just am always drawn to the angled brush. So what you want to do if you're going to float your color, and you can use a floating medium. A lot of people do that. I just use the water because a floating medium will extend the length of your paint as far as it moving and staying fluid. But I don't really need to do that or be concerned about that for something like this. So I just wet my brush and then I tap it off of my paper towel on both sides, and then I just put a little bit of paint on that corner. And then I just work it through the brush. And what happens is when you go back and forth or just draw straight down, the paint, some paint stays on the corner and then it floats across the rest of the brush, so that when you put it to your work, it kind of gives a faded, it's darker on the outside corner and then lighter as you go in towards the center. So I'm going to let that dry. Okay, Keisha, see you later. Thanks for popping in. And then I'll do that with my next color, which will be my Georgia clay. Now I'm hoping Mary at some point might watch this video, because this is how I open. She's always saying there should be a tab, and you know, these paint tubes are hard to open, and she is absolutely right. And there should be a little, but there isn't. So what I do, because I keep my X-Acto knife handy, all I do is just take it and give it a little slit, and then you can, you know, very easily pop that off. So I hope she watches this and gets that little tip. It's easy to open. All right, this might be kind of, I don't know if it's an oil or what they put. Oh, it's mixed pretty good. Sometimes, you know, you get that oily stuff on the top. You don't want that. You want to kind of avoid that. You just get the pure paint, and again I'm going to put in my angle brush, tap off my moisture, load the tip, and then work that through my brush. And then I'm going to go over that area that I just did. You can do that a couple of times. And then, of course, you might want to do on the other corner, the other corner, it's around, the other side is a highlight. I'm running out of spots here on my little boop, boop, boop. And I always twirl things and turn things upside down, and it's just how my brain works. Now this time I'm going to tip it in the white and then a little bit in that yellow. Just put a little bit of a highlight on that other side. Okay. So now I'm going to come back to my petals, and I'm going to just use my plain white. I'm going to use a smaller brush so I have a little more control. And I'm just going to kind of shape these up a little bit and really make them bright. This guy still looks a little wonky to me. And he's very chubby. Gotta make sure I tip into my right puddle of paint. Now I'm thinking I want these petals to have a little bit of character, or maybe a little bit of movement or something. So I want them to have some kind of, not so much a shadow, but not just look flat. I'm having a hard time figuring out how to hold it in front of the camera. And I'm going to use that angle brush to do that. And what I'm thinking is, because a daisy isn't spaced out like this, so I'm thinking I'm going to put some more color, maybe a little yellow or green in these back petals, and then put more petals on top. We'll see how that looks. All right, so just got some more white in there. Maybe I'll hit that with my heat gun a little bit. I do like that kind of sagey color that I had, that aloe. So I'm going to put a little bit more of that out, but I'm going to put it out without the sealant in it. I haven't done this for a while. I really put out a lot more paint than I needed. So I'm just going to pick a side. I'm going to just pick the left-hand side, and I'm just going to add some color to these petals. And I'm going to float the color again. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? You can't really see that green so much, can you? Now, once your brush kind of runs out of paint, you'll be able to tell. You just reload it. Put some on the tip. Maybe just do some down at the bottom where it kind of hooks into the center. And I usually just go all the way around. I'm a twirler. Well, I'm going to use, I'm going to do a sunflower, hopefully. I don't know the blue will play a role in that project. But, probably some shade of orange because it's sunflowers. Oh, good, Holly. When I look at my screen, I don't see, it doesn't look like the green's showing up too well. Okay, now I'm going to hit that with my heat gun a little bit too to let that dry, and then I'm going to come back in where those spaces are and put some more petals and hope for the best. going to get that smaller brush. Although this says it's a number 8, it is smaller than the other. And again, my dogs are going crazy. My husband's, it's probably either the mailman or my husband's out there talking to neighbor. He's a very friendly fellow. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, so I'm going to just drop in these other little petals. You're always more critical of your own work than other people are. People are very kind. I think I want them the same length. I'm just filling in those spaces, because when you look at a daisy, you know, unless they're half dead, they're not gapping. You know, they've got petals that come all the way into the center, and it's full. Okay. I'm trying to see. I got a short one here. This guy needs to be a little longer. That looks a little better. Now, while that dries, I'm going to take my script liner again. I'm going to go into that dark color green. And I'm going to pull in some petals also, but some stems into the flower. I don't know if you can see that. Now I'm going to use the same thing, and I'm going to put little petals. Maybe I'll put a little green up here as well. When I used to do ceramics years ago, there's a gal that I think it was her mom or somebody ran the ceramic shop we went to, and oh my gosh, she used this liner brush, and she could come in, whoops, I'm dripping, and do little swirlies. Oh my gosh, you can make them so great. But I do okay at some point, but then I don't get it real round in another spot. And I'm just waiting for those little bits to dry there. And I think what I want to do is come in and shade around those petals I just put in. Well, I want to do the white on them too. Solid white. Let's see. Let's get this heat gun out again. I'm not super crazy about the petals. If I put a little, this could be trouble. It's a little better. All right, now I'm going to come back in with white. Just my plain white, no sealer. And brighten up these second petals, the more forward petals. And then I think I'm going to try that dark green to shade around these to kind of make these stick out a little bit. And then sometimes you'll see a daisy where it has that like little dark dots around it. I think I might do that. Because really, it's my daisy. I can do what I want, right? That's a very fluffy daisy. The camera is crooked or something. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and use this darker green and see how that works as far as, because like Dee Dee's always saying, for those of you that follow Dee Dee and know who I'm talking about, Dee Dee Willingham, you can check out her channel. She's quite the artist. Contrast is a big issue. And without contrast, you don't really see the light parts. So I'm going to come, I'm afraid I have that too dark. You just want a smidge on your brush. You know, sometimes I get too much. Dip it in too much. Let's see here. Kind of want those top petals to pop a little bit. And I usually try to do one side and then go back and do the other side, because until this paint dries, if you come back in and hit it with your brush, you're going to make other marks or do things that you may not have wanted to do. So give that paint a chance to dry. Miss this guy over here somehow. And we're going to do the other side. Does anybody else mess around with this kind of painting? Like on tin or fabric or wood? See, I think that looks better. Now I'm just going to use the green and my dotter that I had here. And I'm just going to put some dots around here. I'm going to see how that looks. Yeah, I think that looks cute. You're painting the garden sign on wood. Oh, very nice. Do you post any of your stuff, Kimberly? I would love to see it. Hey, Judy. All right, so I think that pretty much is going to be it. I would like to put in some little swirly things, but I don't want to mess it up. And then I think what I might do is put some, I might put some Wink Stella on some of these petals. And then when this dries, I will seal it with my sealant, and then it'll be good to go. Let it dry for a couple of days. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was just thinking, what was I going to do? I'm going to put a little bit of a highlight, I think. Over there. I don't know if this won't show too much if I put a little splash of something here. Little whoop. So I think we're going to call that done before I make it too, mess it up. So that doesn't look bad. Looks better that way than it did plain. Oh, thank you, Judy. Thank you. All right, so that's that guy. So I'm going to put that aside. And now I'm going to get out mine. Now I have a sample of, what I'm thinking. Now I will make my center darker, but what I'm thinking a sunflower might look like. Some of these colors I may use. I'm going to take, thanks Holly, take a little wet wipe here and clean up my paint strokes. Now I already wiped down my handbag, the area that I'm going to paint. And on this next one, I want the sunflower to be, really big because, well, they are big. So I want it to be really big. But I also think I want to put some daisies. This stuff really dries quickly. All right, let's see if I can get this little bit of mess picked up. All right, let's get another paper towel. Dry that up a little. Oh, thank you, Judy. I love knowing that stuff. Oh, thanks so much. I'm glad she enjoys it. All right, here we go. Now, this is going to be a challenge. Let's see. I'm going to move my paint out of the way. So I'm thinking, get my water container off to the side. See if I can get. All right, let's see. I'm thinking now, of course, it's a little lumpy, but I'm thinking I want to put a, sunflower here. And then maybe a couple daisies out there. All right. So I'm just trying to think. I think if I maybe use I think I'm just going to use a little bit of this yellow paint that I have to just say make a big circle here for my center. And just use some of this yellow paint I have. Because when I do sunflowers, what I really like to do is pull my leaves in first. And because the center is dark, it's gonna kind of, you guys can't see that, I'm sure. All right, so now I have to pick out color for my petals. And I've got a saffron. I think I want primary yellow. I think I'm going to use this saffron. Let's see what this looks like. And that might be a good sunflower color. See if I can get some out of this. This is all right, so I'm going to put that in my little dish, and I am going to add some of my, look at all that white I have. What a goofball. Add a couple of drips of my sealer. Mix it up. And I think I'm going to put a little touch of the Georgia clay in here because I want back petal colors to be a little darker. We'll see how this looks. Ooh, that really took over the color. That's a little too dark. See, this is the trouble you get into when you start mixing. So I'm going to add a little more of that yellow I started out with, and I'm going to add a little bit of that sunflower. Not sunflower, daffodil, I think it is. Yeah, daffodil yellow. That's a little better. I probably can't even see what I'm doing, right? Oh, that's much better. Much better. Now I'm going to use my big old brush. And the sample that I have here, the petals are pointy on the outside, rounder towards the center. So that's what I'm going to shoot for. All right, let's see if I can do this without making a hot mess here. And that paint might not be totally mixed, and I'm okay with that too. All right, girls, here we go. Here we go. This is a big bag, big flower. So I'm just going to press down and pull my petal. We have to twirl. We have to twirl. I think I'm going to go over here first. I think the petals need to be bigger. I don't know, girls. This is a little scary. I haven't painted on handbags in a while. When I do them at Christmas time, I put snowmen on them. They're very popular. No, I don't know. I know nothing. I didn't know she was going to sell today. I haven't seen a message pop up. So, and she's got a lot of different vendors she sells for. So, and I don't know if I sold with her the other day. I was the guest vendor, but I don't know if she's having a guest today or not. Best kept secret. I don't know. She said she had to. Keisha was here and said she had to go prepare for for a show. I'm assuming that's what she meant. I sold with her. Gosh, I don't even remember. Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. Now, some of these petals I think I'm going to make bigger. I'm trying to not tip the side of the bag in my paint puddles. I don't know. What do you girls think? Do you think these petals look like they're long enough, or should I make them longer? Is it hard to tell? See if I look at it straight on. It probably could be a little longer. What do you think, Hall? Ooh, I could go for coffee. I should go heat mine up. All right, now I'll come back in with, top petals. I don't have to be perfect either. This guy looks a little skinny. Let's give him a little more meat. I don't know. I'm not thinking. I don't know if I'm going to need any other flowers. I'm thinking about putting a petal here, a couple petals here maybe, leaves, petals maybe over there. Let's try that. Maybe I'll base them in with that light green. See how that works, how that looks. Let's see if I figure a stem and I do a think sometimes I'm a little too cautious, perhaps, instead of just whatever. Because I know myself, when I look at different art or look at things that people do, a lot of times it's not perfect, but it's cool. So just base coat those in, really, kind of like that. And then I'm going to come up here and do. I can't get this metal off. The metal's clacking on my. Wah, wah, wah. Maybe I'll do a leaf here. I mean, they have big old leaves. Of course, I don't know what they look like. I'm not going to worry about that, so much. Okay. All right, I'm going to get my heat gun. It's kind of putting a base coat into those colors. And let's see. I want to do some shading in those back petals before I put the front petals on. So let me see if I can grab this. Not any bigger, but this might be in better shape, this little angled shader. And I think I'm going to use the Georgia clay. See how that looks to start off. I've got some over there, but it's kind of dried up. All my lighting for my recording just dries things. Just kidding. All right, let's see. So I'm going to mostly go, I think, around the bottom of these petals. I'm going to put a little more paint on my brush than normal. So just want to deepen them up a little bit. Let's see how this looks. I do love that Georgia clay. Bring that up into the petal. So I've been using this. I've just started using it. I've had it for a while. I've been using this company called TubeBuddy to help me with the names of my videos. So we'll see if it makes any difference as far as how many folks, end up finding my video and tuning in. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, it's not giving me wrinkles. Just dries my paint. Ha ha ha. I don't know. Can you girls see that contrast at all? I think you might be able to see it a little bit. Okay, good. I got this pink sitting here. I'm thinking about flipping some pink in there. That might be cool. I don't know, Holly. I'm getting some ideas about maybe doing some kind of a doodle on this one in the flower. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I do it with a paintbrush. So I'm just really mashing my brush in because this texture of this bag is it's not real smooth. It's got a little bit of a grain kind of to it, really. It's not pebbly like some handbags have that pebbly look. It's not pebbly like that, but oops, I forgot to put some water on. Now I think I'm going to come back around on that other side, maybe highlight it a little bit. Let's see, this is what I do when I work by myself because, I mean, years ago I used patterns. I really liked a gal by the name of, I still like her. Her name is Maxine Thomas. I did take a class from her once. She does, at least she did do, mostly like folk art type stuff on wood, mostly on wood. Teddy bears and ducks and, you know, more like country kind of. But she has, you can still buy her books. All kinds of patterns and stuff. And so I would trace the patterns and paint. But recently I've just been kind of trying to do my own stuff. If I break my glass mat here with this handbag hardware, I'm just going to be very upset. Just saying, I'm going to be very upset. Kind of blend in some white in here with that yellowy color. Now I'm going to do the same thing with these leaves with my darker green color I have here. Got a smudge of something there. I don't know. I don't think that was there before. Might have to put out more paint here. Yeah, that's not working so good. Let's get some more. Let's get some more of the green. Did I lose Miss Sharon too? Did she have to go? I know she's got stuff going on too. Oh, Zentangles. I'm not very good at that. I love looking at them. That's cool. Well, those two leaves look a little better. I have a hard time. Well, I'm not a very good doodler either. I have a hard time thinking of shapes and things like to put in a Zentangle or doodles. I pulled out a couple of my is it Mary? Mary Engelbright? Is that her name? I might not have that first name right. I know Janet likes her. She's got all those crazy like flowers with the dots, and I love her. So I was thinking I might sell those books because I haven't really used them. And then when I just started to flip through the pages, I'm like, no, I can't part with them yet. I need to look at them and think about some of her images, for doodles and such, because I think they're really cool. I guess pretty much anything goes, right? I think it's Mary Engelbright. All right. Now those leaves are really dark. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add to my puddle of paint here some more of this saffron yellow. And then I'm going to put a touch of my goldenrod in there. See what that color looks like. Hey, it's just paint, right? And then a couple drips of my sealer. I'm going to mix that and see what we get. Ooh, that doesn't look so good. Might be okay. I want to look at my card I have here that I'm supposed to be using as inspiration. So they're a little shorter and they go different which ways. I don't know about that, girls, but we'll see. We'll see what we get. We'll see what we get. This is an original. An original mess. Mess. Let's see. I think color-wise it's okay. All right, let's start over here. Whoopsies. Oh, I did it. I finally did it. I put the piece of the hardware went right in my puddle of paint. Let me clean that off right away. I should have probably taped all this up. Alrighty. I'm sure I don't have it on my fingers anywhere. All right, let's go. All right, let's go here. All right, let's see. Try to make a little movement here on these petals. It's the hard part for me. I've got some stitches there, so I'll try to paint in. Well, I think the one thing that I didn't think about is if I wanted to touch up any of those other petals in the back, I just ruined all that paint. I wasn't too smart. I tend to have all my leaves all my petals go the same way, which is also a little boring. Okay, let's see. It looks like we have a few more folks that have joined us, so anybody that's just come in, welcome, welcome. I don't know, girls, if this is so much looking like a sunflower. Holly, you could do a lot better at this than me. Holly is a very talented young lady. Definitely. Me too, Judy. A little of everything. It's like I'm picking up some dried paint here. Get that off. I'm going to see how, let me see if I mix a little bit of this here. A little darker. Like this guy needs a little bit more of a petal. Holly, I want you to be thinking about a doodle. I know, all that posting stuff really takes a while. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so let me take, let me see how, I'm thinking about the inside of the leaf. Bimo Buzzy. Bimo! Oh yeah, her book is great, Judy. Woo! I can smell my dinner cooking. Well, it's not my dinner. My husband cooks. Yeah, I'm not on IG as much as I should be. All that stuff takes so much time. And then like the Etsy shop and all that jazz. Oh my goodness. You spend all your time doing that jazz and you don't have any time to art. That's the hard part. I'm just winging it here. Girls, just winging it. I'm hoping this looks better once I start getting the, when I get the dark center in. Thinking about what color I want to do that. Yes, wouldn't that be cool? I've tried to talk my husband into doing some of that, but he's just not interested, which I think is very rude. All right, let me dry this a little. All right, I think I need some of that brighter yellow. And even if I get some of that pink in there, I don't think I'm going to mind that. That might be a little cray-cray. A little cray-cray. Wish I had a bigger angled brush, but I don't think I do. Well, I mean, I have a huge one that's by, what's her face? Jane Davenport. That might be a little too big. I wonder how that would be. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Whoo, that's massive. Massive. As my British friends would say. Well, let me try a, that's a little out of whack. Wonder how a flat would do. And I really don't have any confidence in using a flat brush. Let's see. If I use this here. On the top side. Wonder what a little bit of that pink would look like in here. Probably won't even be able to tell. I don't know if you can really see that. Man, I don't know what's going on with these contact lenses today, but whew, they're really giving me some trouble. Everything's a little blurry. I should clean my space. I don't know, girls. I think this is looking like a hot mess. Hot mess. Hot mess. Are you talking to me, Hall? Okay, beautiful fibs. I have to get some before Keisha's show. What time is she coming on? Do you know? Thank you, Judy. Yeah, I might pop in. I just don't know what time she's supposed to go on. But I'll find her. Happy shopping. Oh, I see what you're saying. They were fine yesterday. I mean, this is the first day that I've had this much trouble with them, really. So I've been getting a lot of those, not floaters, but like those, gooey things, kind of like, I call them boogers. That's probably not a very nice thing to say. But okay. Well, I think I'm going to fill in the center and then see if that looks any better. I really would like to know what is on my, I guess that's just a little bit of paint right there. I mean, it just looks like a flower. Okay, I need something dark. Maybe I'll try this bitter. I've got some bitter something here. Bittersweet chocolate. And I want to mix this with a little bit of the sealer. Yeah, I don't know. I could see that if I mean, yesterday they were, the day before they were perfect. Really, today's the first day. So I'm thinking I might have gotten, when I put them in, maybe a little dirt between the lens and my eye. And these are like throwaways, like I wear them and throw them out. So like to take them out, I don't have any solution. I need to get some solution. Like to try to clean them off. Oh, this might look okay after okay, I need a little bit of, my sealer in there. I want to get a base coat on this flower center. Let me use that, see if I can use this square brush to base coat that in. I think I need a new paper towel. Oh, did Sharon leave and I missed her? Is she on? I wonder if she's on. All right, now what I need to do is I need to get some. This brown is a more translucent kind of a brown, the bittersweet. I want to do some shading here. Let me get some. I have a. Let's see if this will work. This is a cinnamon, a light cinnamon. See if I can get some of those petals to pop. She's been lurking, I think, or the dog has caused the gray flood up too. I hope the dog isn't in that salsa garden. Woo! Whoa! Rains of pores. Okay, let's see here. Where's my larger? All right, let's see what this color looks like on these petals. What do you think about doodles, Hall? I guess I shouldn't have done that. I should have done that here. I got my sides confused. That should be underneath. It should be darker underneath, not on top. Let's see. See if we can fix that. Fix that a little bit. I was thinking about maybe just like swirly stuff, but I don't know. Okay, I have to wrap my head around this shading and stuff. Well, I appreciate everybody that's been hanging in here with us. Swirl in the center. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, but I guess I could do a lighter. I was thinking about pouncing some color in there to make it look like kind of furry. You know how the inside of the center of a sunflower kind of looks kind of furry to me, kind of like fuzzy. All right, so now I've got to think about, okay, so I want this to be on this side. Start to have some of those petals look like Yes, they are seeds. Forgot about that. What about this darker color back in here? Peeking out. I don't know. What do you think? I got a long way to go. This was a bigger project than I thought. I think I'm out of frame. Probably most of the time, right? Holly, are you working in your book? In your Lisa book? Yeah, it is a big bag. I wonder if I made like swirly things coming out of the center, out the petals of the flower, how that would look. Of course, I wish I could do it with a pen, but I might be able to do it with a brush. Oh, did you? What page did you work on last night? I was so tired last night. Oh my gosh. Gotta hide that white spot there. We called our son to see if he wanted to come for dinner tonight. Draw string flowers between the two. Draw string flowers between two pages. What are string flowers? Oh, you have to show me. That sounds cool. Our son's birthday is tomorrow, so we invited him for dinner. We're making a big dinner tonight while Ron's off, but I forgot it's game night for him. He's got friends coming over. I ended up doing it on the top anyway. What a schmuck. Oh, Lori, 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 Lori. Put paint on. Oh, those. Oh, yeah, they're cool. I like the way that turns out. Yeah, they're cool. Got that Golden Girls music in my head. I think because I fall asleep in my chair, and that's all I hear all night long while I'm sleeping is Golden Girl music because I forget to turn the TV off. Is that the first time you've done that technique, huh? Boy, I really have this mixed up now. Where's my... Geez, I'm out of white. Yeah, I think I only messed around with it once. I did some on some fabric too, but it was fun. I like doing that. Where do I want to put my highlights here? A little bit up here. Hey, Miss Sharon. Oh, Sharon, you're so sweet. I think it looks like a hot mess. Hot mess. I thought you meant making those string flowers. They are so cool. It's on my list to try. Oh yeah, I have to try it. It is fun. It's fun. And they turn out so different, each one. Even if you try to do it like, the same, or you change the color a little bit, and oh my gosh, they really are cool. And the fabric that I did it on, I really liked how that turned out too. I'm wondering how it is to pour paint. My son-in-law was talking about pouring paint. I think he's going to fashion up some way that we can do like, you know how Tanya and Lisa did those spinny things? You know how we have those spinny kits, girls, to use? Oh, wow, that's fun. That sounds like fun. That's amazing to me. 3D printer. I can't even wrap my brain around that. I don't know, guys. Can you see the petals a little bit better? All right. I want to leave my center till last. My son-in-law is going to fashion something. He wants to do a spin art, but he wants to put something on the end of his drill so we can spin the paint. I said, you're going to be a mess. It's going to have paint all over the place. All right, let's go. Let's sit back here and regroup here. All right, I have a brush somewhere. It's a Donna Dewberry brush. And I think she calls it a scrubby. And she mashes it down and it smooshes out the paint. Oh, yeah. You're talking about what the... Oh, I think I know what you mean, Mitzi. Oh, my gosh. Now I got geese out the back. Holy moly. Where's my scrubby kind of... I think that's what she calls it. I have two sizes. Oh, my gosh. I got my big old arm in front of that camera. I apologize for that. They have a green handle. I'm trying to think if I have another brush that would work the same way. I have a deer foot, but that's so small. That will be hard to use. Very small. See, this is my deer foot. Although it would work, this is my deer foot. When you put the paint on and then you push down, it makes the imprint of looks like a deer paw. Maybe you can't see that so much on my finger. I don't know. That's what they call it. I wonder if I start smushing that around. What kind of string? Any kind of string? Oh. Is that what it's called, Mindy? I'd like to look that up and watch a video. Yeah, that sounds cool. I don't know, girls. Right, get on that, Mitz, so you can tell us. Tell us how it works. Inquiring minds, you know. Now I want to know what it's all about. I don't know. I think it needs something. Of course, I need more attention to the center. I've got to let that dry. And I certainly could spatter. But I'm wondering how it would look if I just did crazy little wiggles out from black and white wiggles out from the flower. It's not as sharp as I would like it to be. Oh, that would be great. Don't go to any extra trouble, though, Mitzi. I mean, don't spend a lot of time. But yeah, that would be cool. I would love to know. I thought maybe you read about it in a book or something. don't know if I should leave well enough alone. I'll try to add some other stuff. Man, these the hardware, they call it hardware on the handbag. Boy, they're really clunking around. They're really heavy. Heavy. Heavy, heavy. Well, I told Peggy I wasn't going to use any loud voices, and there I go. I think I need some shading underneath this one petal. So Sharon, if you're still here, what's Brian going to do with the 3D printer? All right, now I know I want to use some black for the center of the flower. Oh, cool. I didn't even think about that. Oh, cool. How about that? All right, girls, if I go in there with this black and I do this and it looks awful, this bag is trash. Because there's no wiping this off. First, I'm going to do the center. Make it darker. And then I'm going to put some around the outside edge. They're setting it up now. Oh, cool. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. Hey, this wouldn't look bad from across the street, really, this bag. I think this petal needs work because you can see the leaf underneath and the petals aren't see-through. I kind of do like this darker, the center. See, the thing with the black and the brush with the liner brush is like I've got to make sure, because there's a certain amount of drag, you know, on the paint. So when I pull it, you found her? Mitzi, you're a miracle. Let me see. I got something to write it down here on. Let's see. All right, kiddo. Can you just put her name in there? Oh, look, I put this pen. Okay, so this is string flowers. And I'm going to say per Mitzi. So I know where I heard it and why I want to watch it. All right, so let's see. I got to get crack-a-lack in here. I'm going to put a little bit of this light color here. Fill in this leaf. Oh, that breeze. All of a sudden, I got a cool breeze. How nice. Okay. Oh, I love G. Kerr. Simple, easy flower embellishments. Oh, I love her. Her things are amazing. Okay. Simple, easy flower embellishments. Simple, easy flower. Thanks, Mitz. April 11th, huh? Oh, she's always, yeah. I subscribe to her. I always have stuff popping up. Oh my gosh, I love her stuff too. All her little pockets. The dresses that I made, that's where I learned how to do those paper, folding those paper dresses was from her. And the way she uses little bits of lace and stuff. Oh, her stuff is fabulous. Love her stuff. Cool. Thanks, Mitz. All right, so. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm just going to, you know what? It needs something, so I'm just going to go for it. Because, I mean, really, well, different strokes for different folks, but I'm going to move this paint off to the side and hope I don't knock it over. Then I'm going to get rid of all this nonsense here. Get this paper towel. Clean up some of this jazz. Because I want to have room to put some black paint on my script brush. Oh, did you? I made a ton of those dresses. So I sold some at the market. And her pockets and her, I love her stuff. In fact, the little envelope journals that I make, I saw on her channel. I love her voice and her little accent. She sounds like she's from England, but I think she's in Portugal. I think she lives in Portugal, unless something has changed. She's got a lot of videos. And the paper. In fact, I bought a digi. Oh, my son-in-law said, Mom, don't say digi ever again. I bought a digital file. No, I've never checked out the Friday freebies. I don't think so. She had one. What did she do? She was decorating paper clips. I did those. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it's her. That's fabulous. I'll definitely watch. I'll definitely look for that. Definitely. Okay, so now I'm going to put some black paint out and hope I don't smush the whole bag in it. And I'm just going to make these wild, crazy, swirly lines out from the center of this flower. Make it like a doodle, wild, crazy doodle thing. Pray for me. All right, so my idea is to come from the center of the flower and just make, you know, swirly things like that. Oh, I don't know. I'm so nervous. Okay, let's hear. We're just going to do it. Now I can come back in. Once I have these in, I can go back and, you know, darken up the lines. And I'm wondering if I do some white, how that would look. Oh, no, Holly? Oh, my gosh. Yeah, she's one of my favorites. Really and truly. Oh, that one got really heavy. Oh, phooey. I was doing okay. Do they look hard to do, huh? I was doing okay, but now I'm not doing so good, girls. A lot of the paper that she uses, I don't know, I guess it's her own design. They're like real dainty and she does really a lot of really cool stuff. Thank you, Holly. Now, if I put spatters on here, that would look good too, I think, but I'd really have to control it. Maybe I need a few swirlies out from the leaves. Oh, I can't wait to look, girls, to see what you're talking about. What does she do on her freebies Fridays things? I gotta look for one of those flat ones. Looks like it would be easier than a regular pencil. Oh, I'm so intrigued. That might be enough swirls. All right, girls, what else does it need? I'm going to try, oh, she makes things with the free digits you print. Oh, okay. I didn't realize she had free digital files. Okay, cool. Excellent. I'm putting spatters on. I mean, really, if this spatter's all over the handbag, really, that doesn't matter, I guess. Really. I might come back in later and do something else to the center of the flower. I don't know. What do you think, girls? I got 7 people here holding steady. God bless you. Thanks for staying. I think I might try to spatter some white. What do you think? Some white on the leaves? Make them look a little like a little something something. This is going to be fun to put a top coat seal on it. I know some of my faves, I just keep watching the same ones over, which is silly. Okay, Hal, that's an idea. Well, I like it a lot better than I did. I think I'm going to say that's finished for right now, ladies. We'll let that center dry really well, and then I might come in and do a little bit of shading in here, make it a little lighter so that the center looks really dark. But that should be okay, right? And then we did this earlier. So I think I'm going to call that a wrap. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm sure there's a lot going on this afternoon on the tube. So I'll probably see you in chat somewhere. And as I like to say, take time to be creative and enjoy the journey. Thank you, girls. Thanks, Holly. Thanks, Sharon. Mitch, thanks for chatting. Thanks for finding that for me. I'm so excited to watch G. Kerr and see what she's up to with that string flowers. Oh, I'm so cool. I'll let you know what I think, Mitch. All right. All right, girls. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next video. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.